So just, excuse me, check what's going on. Let's just try and land. I'm sure I've certainly had a busy day. I wasn't supposed to, but it just turned out that way. So for me personally, it means that my mind's just a little bit scattered. So it's always good before you start a practice like this, just to kind of land. So let's just check our feet. If they're down on the ground, have a little cushion underneath and make sure they're in a parallel position, and check your pelvis. Make sure that pelvic ball's not tipping too far back or too far forward or side to side. And hands in the meditation mudra. And your shoulders over your hips, ears. If you can possibly imagine, it's possible for your ears to be aligned with your shoulders. So let's just imagine our spine is made of a string of pearls of light. Translucent, blissful light, stretching from the coccyx all the way up through the crown of the head. Just lengthening. You can imagine someone's behind you, just lengthening that piece of string. Let all the stress and the busyness of the day just kind of drop away as you bring your mind to where your body is. Some air in between those discs. Head slightly tipped forward, the eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose, tip of the tongue and the roof of the mouth. Relax the jaw. Let's bring our attention to the crown of the head and relax the scalp, the forehead, the eyes, the cheeks, the nose, and the mouth. And relax the scalp at the back of the head, the ears, the inner ear. Just notice as you do that the extent to which your face continues to relax. We must hold a lot of tension there. So just move to the back of the neck, relax the neck and the shoulders, your back. Try not to lean on whatever surface is behind you. Relax your throat and chest, belly, arms, hands, fingers, legs, feet and toes. Let's just bring the mind to the breath. Just notice the sensation of the cool air as you're breathing in, slightly warm air as you're breathing out. If there's any sound in your environment, just allow those sounds to be there. Try not to follow the sound, push it away, just allow it. And there may be some residue, busyness, thoughts, conversations you've had today, plans for tomorrow or the next week coming. Just allow those thoughts to arise, abide, and just fall away. And try not to engage with the thoughts or have a story. Just bring the mind to the breath. And just as we've been doing in the mornings as well, just all the people of your life, the ones you love, who support you, who are kind to you, who are your friends right now, and it could change. Ones you don't love necessarily, who you find irritating or even just you're angry at or you've been hurt by. And that relationship could change also. And then the strangers, all being equal. They wish to find happiness, constantly chasing after it and never getting it. Their wish to be free from suffering, constantly encountering problems and suffering, and this incredible ability we all have to reach enlightenment, prevented only by the delusions covering that precious diamond, which is our potential. So we think we're going to do this Vajrasattva practice tonight for the benefit of all the people in our life, all sentient beings. We're going to try and change the negativity in our mind, placing it with positivity. So the first of the 4 opponent powers is regret. So just also as a method of trying to land, but also just go back over your day, starting from this morning when you first woke up and put your feet on the floor. Just very briefly, just run through your day. Breakfast. What did you do between breakfast and lunch? The interactions you had with people or animals. After lunch. If you were coming home from work. Any conversations you had today. So think if there's any harm that you've done today, just regret sincerely from your heart. And perhaps this week, anything you've done with your body or your speech to harm another, just regret. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma, given that everything we experience is due to our past actions. If we cause suffering to others, we are necessarily going to experience it sometime in the future. We plant the seed of the energy, negative energy, to be boomeranging back to us. So given that we understand what suffering is, we experience it frequently and we don't really want to have any more. Just regret from the depths of our heart. Harming others with our body and speech, breaking our vows. If we have a teacher, not following their advice. All these things. So who do I turn to? Who can I rely on? So we think about the Buddha, the doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. And we're not necessarily needing Guru Vajrasattva to forgive us. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his methods. And visualize the Guru Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can imagine this is the mind of your Lama, your teacher, your Guru, however you wish to label your spiritual advisor, your friend, your spiritual friend. However you view your relationship with a person that might be guiding you or helping you right now, or even someone who just inspires you, who makes the Dharma come alive for you. So the mind of that person manifesting in this form of Vajrasattva, this youthful male form for your benefit. So he's made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting in a cross-legged position on a lotus. It's this radiant face, youthful, peaceful, long eyes, full of love and compassion for us. He's had this sweet red mouth. And he's looking at you and all sentient beings simultaneously with incredible love, a wish for you to be happy, and not judging you at all. Completely accepting you as you are, meeting you where you're at. His arms are crossed at his heart. The left is underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a Vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. So in this case, the beings that we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think in particular of, again, as we did in the beginning of the meditation, someone you've harmed recently, maybe today, and in the past. And in general, any beings we have ever harmed since beginning this time. And then remember the people who have harmed you. And we have compassion for them because they will suffer in the future as a result of the harm that they've done to you. So make a strong aspiration to do this purification practice for the sake of all these sentient beings, and think I must purify for their sake. So the next is the power of the remedy. And this is the medicine, the actual doing of the practice. So imagine first we purify our body, all the negativities of our body, the things that we've done to harm with our body. The Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, sort of you can quite strongly, forcefully pouring in to you from his heart. It arcs around and enters your crown, filling your entire body completely. And it just keeps pouring in and forces out of your lower orifices all the negativity you've ever done with your body in the form of this kind of like inky black liquid, and disappears into space, not one atom left as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mebe Yata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mebe Yata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mebe Yata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mebe Yata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mebe Yata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mebe Yata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mebe Yata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Pe. Then be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's nothing now that you could do other than be of benefit to others with your body. So the next is the purification of the speech. And Guru Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, again quite strongly, arcs around and forcefully enters the crown of your head, filling your entire body, this time forcing up to the top of your body, all the negativity of your speech. And this kind of just overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you can imagine all the gossip, the harsh speech, the useless speech, lying, talking badly about others behind their back. All this is purified by the powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified. And imagine that it's not possible you could do anything other than be of benefit to others with your speech. So just imagine the moment they hear the sound of your voice, it's of benefit to them. So really wish for this. I think we don't think whether our voices, the sound of our voices benefits others. So it's good to have that wish in your heart. Then maybe we'll be more careful with our speech. So purification of the mind. Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately again sends powerful beams of laser light this time from his heart chakra and arcs around and enters your crown chakra and fills your entire being. And just as LAMA YESHE says, when you turn on the light in a room, the darkness is instantly dispelled. So in the same way, the moment the light hits your heart chakra, the darkness of the negativity of your mind is completely dispelled, disappears. So all the attachment and neediness, grasping, anger, depression, resentment, jealousy, grudges, bitterness, wishing to harm, all instantly dispelled. Not one atom left as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita. Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mudza Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mebe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mudza Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dina Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mebe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mebe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mebe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of our own suffering, the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified, gone, disappeared into space. And think there's no space in your heart now for anything other than wisdom and love and compassion, peace and bliss. So next is the purification of the imprints of negativity of the body, speech and mind. So this time you can imagine Guru Vajrasattva sends light and nectar simultaneously, or you can imagine the previous three visualizations, either one after the other or all together. So you could kind of split the mantra count up, to 2, 2, and 3 or whatever. Depends on what good works for your mind. So you imagine light and nectar, or however you're doing it, fills you completely, and it sort of eradicates even the subtlest imprints, very, very subtle imprints of negative energy from your mind as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mebe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mebe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita. Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Muza Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita. Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Hum Pe. Now feel you're completely purified, not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. So the next is the power of resolve, and it's the fourth step in the purification process. Is really crucial that we make a decision to not harm. So we just find something to work on. Maybe something happened today that you regret. It's a habit. Without this intention to flick a switch, to make a decision to actually work on our habits, we're just going to keep doing them. At some point, we have to we're the ones that have the power to decide how we're going to work with our mind. So just think of something that you'd like to work on today, whether it be able to not think about something that you've been maybe ruminating over. Just say, I'm not going to think about such and such for 30 seconds. And then maybe tomorrow you can increase it to 60 seconds. So just do what's reasonable for you. And don't promise ourselves things that we know we're not going to do. Just make a vow to refrain, to avoid negative actions in general as well. So think, Guru Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into light and absorbs into you and through your crown. And think, my Guru's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same thing. And LAMA YESHE would call this union oneness. And Lama Zopa Rinpoche here recommends that we meditate on the emptiness with 3 circles. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, you place your mind there for a while. You can think of all phenomena as being empty. They don't exist from their own side. You could think of them as being things being dependent arises, a bunch of causes and conditions, or just based on the way we view the world, according to how we're structured, how we've been educated, where we live. Everything looks different. So just think. Kind of helps to break down our concrete view of the world. Things may not be as we see them, perceive them. It's always good to question. Okay, so let's just dedicate the merit, all the positive energy that you've created this evening by doing this purification to all the people of your life and to all living beings. By thinking, may all the virtuous karma I have created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. LAMA YESHE, Purification, you who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjanath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers, honoring the three jewels, savior of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. And for Ursula Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wondrous and far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please, please live long. And for Geshe Cherub, beloved teacher, leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path. You are the unequaled guide. Please live a long and stable life. So there we go. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Lots of love. And
thank you,
take care.
Katy.
Thank you so much, Barbara. And have a good
Thank you so
weekend.
much.
Enjoy.
You too.